Okay, so we are going to start reading the book of Enoch. But before we start reading, I'd like to say that Enoch is in the Bible, and he is one of the persons that God took up, just took him up. And he's in Hebrews chapter 11. If you want to know about the introduction of this book, you can look it up. We recorded and we read part of the introduction, and you'll be able to look that up also. So the book of Enoch just seems to be, I really don't know everything that's in this book. And I know things I've heard. So I believe this is going to be a interesting read. An interesting read. Let me, okay. The blessings of Enoch. Let me get this. Okay, number 1. Here. These, it says 1-1. So I don't know how these are numbered. These are the words of the blessings of Enoch, according to which he blessed the chosen and righteous who must be present on the day of distress, which is appointed for the removal of all the wicked and impious. If I'm saying something wrong, please, anybody, please feel free to correct me. It's okay. And Enoch began his story and said, there was a righteous man whose eyes were opened by the Lord, and he saw a holy vision in heaven, which the angels showed to me. And I heard everything from them, and I understood what I saw. But not for this generation, but for a distant generation that will come. So he's prophesying here, I believe. Concerning the chosen, I spoke. I uttered a parable concerning them. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Charlotte, there's somebody in the waiting room.
I've taken care of it. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, 1-3. Okay, I'm just getting used to this, so hold on, y'all. We're going to take off here. Right. Okay, 1.3. Concerning the chosen, I spoke, and I uttered a parable concerning them. The holy and great one will come out of his dwelling, and the eternal God will tread from there upon Mount Sinai, and he will appear with his host, and will appear in strength of his power from heaven. And all will be afraid, and the watchers will shake and fear, and great trembling will seize them upon to the ends of the earth. And the high mountain will be shaken, and the high hills will be laid low, and will melt like wax in a flame. And the earth will sink, and everything that is on the earth will be destroyed. And there will be judgment upon all, and upon all the righteous. But for the righteous, he will make peace. And he will keep safe the chosen, and mercy will be upon them. They will all belong to God and will prosper and be blessed. And the light of God will shine on them. And behold, he comes with 10,000 holy ones to execute judgment upon them and to destroy the impious, and to contend with all flesh concerning everything that the sinners and impious have done and wrought against him. Well, that
wow,
that coincides with what the word says, don't you think?
Yes. Sister, I don't know if she can unmute her mic, or if y'all want to help me with the mics. I don't know if she can. I got it to where nobody can turn their mics on.
Can you put it so
They can, yes.
they can?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
This way, after each time that we read one of these things, if somebody has any input or would like to say something about it, they can.
Yes.
So at this time, if there's anybody here that wants to comment on this first part of the book of Enoch, please feel free to do so. Okay.
I believe I'm just taking it in. Just taking it in.
Oh, that was pretty awesome.
Yes.
Talk, right there, it's just pretty awesome. Talking to the chosen ones, right?
Right.
Praise God.
I agree. I think I haven't read it before either, so I appreciate the opportunity, and I was kind of struck with the fear that everybody's going to have at the majesty of the Lord, I mean, that's really good to remember, because every day, every day we have threats coming against us in one way or another, and to just know how great and grand our God is, that, I mean, the watchers would even tremble at, the Lord.
Yes.
I mean, that's a pretty powerful job to be a watcher, So, yeah, I think it's going to be interesting.
Yes, awesome. That is awesome. Okay, 2. God's law. 2:1. Contemplate all the events in the sky, how the lights in the sky do not change their course, how each rises and sets in order, each of its proper time, and they do not transgress their law. Consider the earth and understand from the work that is done upon it, from the beginning to the end, that no work of God changes as it becomes manifest. Consider the summer and the winter, how the whole earth is full of water, and the clouds and dew and rain rests upon it. I contemplate and see how all the trees appear withered, and all their leaves are stripped, with the exception of the 14 trees which are not stripped, which remain with the old leaves until the new come after 2 or 3 years. After 2 or 3 years. And again, contemplate the day of summer, how it's beginning, the sun is above it. You seek shelter and shade because of the heat of the sun, and the earth burns a scorching heat. And you cannot tread upon the earth or upon a rock because of its heat. I contemplate the trees are covered with green leaves and bear fruit, and understand in respect of everything, and perceive how he who lives forever made all things for you, and how his works are before him in each succeeding year, and all his works serve him and do not change. But as God has decreed, so everything is done. Amen. And consider how the seas and rivers together complete their tasks. But you have not persevered in, nor observed the law of the Lord, but you have transgressed and have spoken proud and hard words with your unclean mouths against his majesty. You, hard of heart, you will not have peace. And because of this, you will curse your days, and the years of your life you will destroy. And the eternal curse will increase, and you will not receive mercy. In those days, you will transform your name into an eternal curse to all the righteous, and they will curse you sinners forever. For the chosen, there will be light, joy, peace, and they will inherit the earth. But for you, impious, there will be a curse. When wisdom is given to the chosen, they will all live, and will not again do wrong, either through their forgetfulness or through pride. But those who possess wisdom will be humble. They will not again do wrong, and they will not be judged in all the days of their life. and they will not die of wrath or anger, but they will complete the number of days of their life, and their life will grow in peace. And the years of their joy will increase in gladness and eternal peace all the days of their life.
Wow. Wow.
Now he's talking all future, right?
Yeah.
He's talking for the future. Praise God.
Wow. That.
And we are redeemed, and because of our redemption in Jesus Christ, we are righteous. Amen.
Man.
Amen.
Man.
Okay. Notes. Let's see what these notes are. They're not too many. All right. Let's read his notes here. Rebels among the watchers. This is a story of the fallen angels. The beginning 6.1 to 2 is virtually identical with Genesis 6 and 1 to 2. In Enoch's book, we get their names and many other details. At 6.6, Enoch explains the names of Mount Hermon. In Hebrew, it means curses. Oh, wow. The mountain that he was actually referring to is possibly somewhere near Lake Van in Turkey. In common for translators to update names rather than use phonetics, so the few names that appear, mainly mountains and rivers, can't be relied upon as accurate identifications. We don't know whether there was another mountain called Curses or even what language the book was originally written in. I'm sorry about that. Okay. At 7.2, he says that they had giant sons. I believe that this means not that they were physically big, but powerful and wealthy with private armies. Nevertheless, the watchers may have been larger than the local people were. Many years of advanced healthcare and nutrition can lead to increasing average size. So this is this man's opinion. Okay, I'm sorry for moving this so much. They were probably quite young, these runaway angels, but they had weapons and knowledge. That meant they were able to dominate Enoch's people easily. Since they could have children by women, I think it is safe to assume that they are men and not angels, or any other non-human entity, since breeding is species specific by definition. They were regarded as angels by Enoch and his people. See what Lamech says in 106.56 in section 10. But Enoch also says that they could appear like men when they wished. But even so, he never seemed to doubt their divinity. Okay, so is he saying they're angels or they're not?
I believe he's saying that they are.
Okay, at 8.4, the scene switches to the angels in heaven, the watchers at their home base. The activities of the runaways cause them to be noticed. This section was some of the watchers asking their headman what should they do about the runaways. Alternatively, it could be seen as God being informed that no souls wish to incarnate on the earth because of the conditions are becoming so bad.
Mm.
Okay, does anybody else have any opinions on this guy's opinion?
It blows me away. He says, but Enoch says they could appear like men when they wished.
Yeah,
Right.
I think there's a lot we don't know about the spiritual realm, but definitely we know the angels came and ate with Abraham. Jesus and two angels came and ate with Abraham. And I think a lot of that, as far as witchcraft and stuff like that, people are able to shift into animals and different creatures. So what's possible for the spiritual realm to do is more than our understanding in the natural realm. So I don't have a problem with that. I mean, it could be, I'm not really sure, like even about the Nephilim and stuff like that. We know, I don't know when he made these comments, but we know from archaeology that, you know, he said a larger statue due to good nutrition. Well, that's true, but they found huge bones, you know, I mean, archaeology itself, you know what I mean? So I don't know what his resources were, what he was familiar with, or what year he's writing this, but it's been found out with all the archaeology and things that they have done. They have found so many things to, you know, to confirm the Bible.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And that's right. And there's been, I mean, huge artifacts and things have been founded about the giants. And so this is this man's opinion, I guess, that he doesn't believe that they're giants, right? Isn't that what he said? He thinks they're just large people. Oh, well, he doesn't say that for sure. Right here it says watchers may have been larger than the local people were. Well, if watchers were fallen angels, I definitely know that angels, I do not believe they're small at all. So
I don't think so either. I don't think so either.
Yeah. But Enoch is not, Enoch is talking about them being big. Okay. If I'm reading something and getting something wrong, you know, if you think, if I'm misreading, I mean, hearing what I'm reading, you know, step in. Here we go. Rebels among the watchers. And it came to pass, when the sons of men had increased, that in those days there were born of them fair and beautiful daughters. And the angels, the sons of heaven, saw them and desired them. And they said to one another, come, let us choose for ourselves wives from the children of men, and let us beget for ourselves children. And Samiazah, who was their leader, said to them, I fear that you may not wish this deed to be done, and that I alone will pay for this great sin. So this angel's name is Samiazah. Okay. And they all answered him and said, let us all swear an oath and bind one another with curses, so not to alter this plan, but to carry out this plan effectively. Then they all swore together and all bound one another with curses to it. And they were in all 200, and they came down on Ardis, which is a summit of Mount Hermon. And they called Mountain Hermon because on it they swore and bound one another with curses. And these are the names of their leaders. Samiazah, who was their leader, Urakiba, Ramiel, Kokabiel, Tamiel, Ramiel, Daniel, Ezekiel, Barakiel, Asiel, Armaros, Ananel, Zakiat, Samsiel, Sateo, Turiel, Yomiel, and Araziel. Well, there's a lot of IELs in there. So we know these angels definitely have names, these fallen ones. These are the leaders of the 200 angels and of all the others with them. And they took wives for themselves, and everyone chose for himself one each. And they began to go into them and were promiscuous with them. And they taught them charms, spells, and they showed them the cutting of roots and trees. And they became pregnant and bore large giants. And their height was 3,000 cubits. These devoured all the toil of men until men were unable to sustain them. And the giants turned against them in order to devour men. And they began to sin against birds and against animals and against reptiles and against fish. And they devoured one another's flesh and drank the blood from it. Then the earth complained about the lawless ones. And Azazel taught men to make swords and daggers and shields and breastplates. And he showed them the things after these, and the art of making them bracelets and ornaments, and the art of making up the eyes, and the beautifying of the eyelids, and the most precious stones, and all kinds of colored dyes. And the world was changed. And there was great impiety and much fornication, and they went astray, and all their ways became corrupt. Amazarek taught all those who cast spells and cut roots. Aramis, the release of spells, and Barkiel, astrologers, and Kokabeel, portents, and Tamil taught astrology, and Asradel taught the path of the moon. And at the destruction of men they cried out, and their voices reached heaven. And then Michael, Gabriel, Suriel, and Uriel looked down from heaven and saw the mass of blood that was being shed on the earth, and all the iniquity that was being done on the earth. And they said one to another, "Let the devastated earth cry out with the sound of their cries up to the gates of heaven. And now to you, O holy ones of heaven, the souls of men complain, saying, Bring our complaint before the Most High." And they said to the Lord, the King, "Lord of lords, God of gods, King of kings, your glorious throne endures for all generations of the world, and blessed and praised. You have made everything, and power over everything is yours, and everything is uncovered and open in front of you, and you see everything, and there is nothing that can be hidden from you. See then that Azazel has done, how he has taught all iniquity on the earth and revealed the eternal secrets that are made in heaven. And Semiah has made known spells to whom you gave authority to rule over those who are with him. And they went into the daughters of men together, lay with those women, became unclean, and revealed to them these sins. And the women bore giants, and thereby the whole earth has been filled with blood and iniquity. And now behold, the souls which have died cry out and complain into the gate of heaven, and their lament has ascended, and they cannot go out in the face of iniquity which is being committed on the earth. And you know everything before it happens, and you know this, and what concerns each of them, but you say nothing to us. What ought we do with them about this? Okay,
Wow.
before I go to the other notes, oh, I like it that besides Michael and Gabriel, we see other names, good angel names. One, does anybody know how tall that is? I'm looking for that. How many cubits was that?
Was
Do you
it?
remember? I was wondering how tall those giants were.
3,000.
Was it
Their
3,000
about
cubits?
3,000 cubics.
Yeah. How, I wonder how tall that is. Let me look it up a minute. I'm gonna look that up. If anybody has anything else they'd like to say, please do. Let's see.
I can tell you in kilometers, it's 1.3716 kilometers.
Let's see.
Can you convert it to feet, Charlotte? Cubics into feet.
Oh my gosh, 45 feet tall, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, that's what Steve Quayle did a book, and I think he's got some of those really, really huge. And I think the Bible says something about, well, he calls us trees of righteousness, but there's some reference to cedars or something. I mean, they were huge. So I don't know.
I can't even fathom 45 feet tall. Wonder, is there a building 45 feet tall? I mean, I wonder.
I'm
Let's see.
getting, my sources are saying, no, although we don't know how tall they actually were, 3,000 cubics would be around 4,500 feet tall. And that is not possible. And the why question was asked, and it says because these sons were born to human. So
Yeah, but even giants.
the question was asked, were the sons of the fallen angels really 3,000 cubits tall? And I'm just asking, what's her name? Quora?
Yeah, Cora, yeah.
Yes. And I highlighted the 3,000 cubics and asked Cora, and that's the notes I got. That helps.
And I don't know, when I looked it up, I saw
45
let's see.
instead of 4,500.
Let's see, yeah. How cubits? Let me look it up again.
Yes. I mean, I could screen share and show you, but I don't think it's
No,
necessary.
I read that myself.
I don't think it's necessary.
Well, that's a lot. That's big, all right.
That's huge, yes, that's huge.
4,000 feet. I mean, oh my goodness.
That's more like a mountain.
It's 4,500 feet tall. That's what it says.
That's crazy.
Yes, it is.
Well, let's see. Do we think it's crazy that there were huge dinosaurs? Probably not no 4,000 feet. So what do y'all think about this? Those giants that are found are not 4,000 feet.
Well, Sister Dodie, I believe that there's nothing new under the sun. And I believe if we can think it, there has to be a reason for it.
Yeah.
Because our minds are limited.
Yeah.
When our minds are not, we don't have the mind of God. We put on the mind of Christ, but we don't think, we're not God. We can't think like God. That's in the Word. The Word says that.
Yes. So those were not the angels, though. Those were the product, their children.
Yes. The Nephilim.
Correct.
Yes.
Wow. So all I have to say is a wow.
Yes.
Okay, let's see what these notes say here. Oh, okay, let's see. The Most High of the Watchers speaks out. Enoch presents us with the condemnation of the runaways by the Most High of the Watchers. This section shows the runaways as regarded at home. Some background details do emerge later in the book. At 106:13, section 10, we learn that the runaways came to Enoch's area in his father's day. Enoch is a scribe. See 12:4. And he says that it was the angels who introduced writing. So Enoch was probably taught to write and employed by the runaway angels. At 10:13, the Most High instructs an angel to save the son of Lamech. This will be Noah from the flood. This is interesting because besides prophesying details of the flood and its timing, it reveals that this wax written at a time where Enoch is a grandfather of Lamech, but he does not yet know what Lamech's son will be called. If the runaways were young in Enoch's father's day, then they are probably at least 10 years older than Enoch and maybe more. So it is likely that the events in the book time and the runaways are quite old. I have wondered if they, the angels, lived longer than we would think was normal, but there isn't enough detail to draw a conclusion. My question there is, what is he talking about? The angels living longer. Got me. The majority of this section consists of prophecy, of doom for the runaways. They will see their families destroyed by fighting amongst themselves during their lifetime. They will suffer in the afterlife, and the societies they founded will be wiped away by the flood. He says at 10:22 that there will never again be another flood like the one to come.
Sister, I believe he might be, as far as living longer than normal people, I believe he might be talking about the Nephilim.
Oh, you're probably right. Yes. You're right. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Wow. There he's talking about the flood. Let's see. What number is this for? I think I'm going to read to 6, and we're going to quit at 6.
Chapter 6.
Until, yeah, like this is number 4. I'll read up to 6, and then we'll quit to the next time.
All right.
To the continuation of the book of Enoch. Okay. The Most High of the Watchers speaks out. Okay, I'm sorry. And then the Most High, the Great and Holy One, spoke and sent, whatever that name is, Arcialilur, to the son of Lamech, and said to him, say to him in my name, hide yourself, and reveal to him the end, which is coming, because the whole world will be destroyed. A deluge is about to come on all the earth, and all that is in it will be destroyed. And now teach him, so that he may escape and his offspring may survive for the whole earth. And further, the Lord said to Raphael, bind Azazel by his hands and his feet, and throw him into darkness, and split open the desert which is in Judea, and throw him there. And throw him on jagged and sharp stones, and cover him up with darkness, and let him stay there forever, and cover his face so that he may not see the light. And so that on the great day of judgment, he may be hurled into the fire, and restore the earth which the angels have ruined, and announce the restoration of the earth. For I shall restore the earth so that not all the sons of men shall be destroyed because of the knowledge which the watchers made known and taught to their sons. And the whole earth has been ruined by the teaching of the works of Azazel, and against him right all sin. And the Lord said to Gabriel, proceed against the bastards and the reprobates, and against the sons of the fornicators, and destroy the sons of the fornicators and the sons of the watchers from among men, and send them out, and send them against one another, and let them destroy themselves in battle, for they will not have length of days. And they will petition you. Both the petitioners will gain nothing in respect to them, for they hope for eternal life, and that each of them will live life for 500 years. And the Lord said to Michael, go inform Semyaza and the others with him who have associated with women to corrupt themselves with them in all their uncleanness. When all their sons kill each other, and when they see the destruction of their loved ones, bind them for 70 generations, until the hills of the earth, until the days of their judgment, and until their consummation, until the judgment, which is for all eternity, is accomplished. And in those days they will lead them to the abyss of fire, in torment and in prison, and they will be shut up for all eternity. And then Semyaza will be burnt, and from then on destroyed with them. Together they will be bound until the end of all generations, and destroy all the souls of lust, and the sons of the watchers, for they have wronged men. Destroy all the wrong from the face of the earth, and every evil work will cease. And no, all the righteous will be humble, and will live until they beget thousands. And all the days of their youth and their Sabbaths they will fulfill in peace. And in those days the whole earth will be tilled in righteousness, and all of it will be planted with trees, and it will be filled with blessings. And all the pleasant trees they will plant on it, and they will plant on the vines. And the vine that is planted on it will produce fruit in abundance. And every seed that is sown on it, each measure will produce 1,000. And each measure of olives will produce 10 baths of oil. And you cleanse the earth from all wrong, and from all iniquity, and from all sin, and from all impiety, and from all the uncleanness which is brought about out on the earth. And all the sons of men shall be righteous, and all the nations shall serve and bless me, and all shall worship me. And the earth will be cleansed from all corruption, and from all sins, and from all wrath, and from all torment. And I will not again send a flood upon it for all generations forever. And in those days I will open storehouses of blessings which are in heaven, so that I may send them down upon the earth, upon the work and upon the toil of the sons of men. Peace and truth will be united for all the days of eternity, and for all the generations of eternity. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
I have a feeling he's saying wow a lot. Yes.
So I wonder here if he is talking about, I know it's after Noah, but I'm wondering if he's talking about the 1,000 years. You know?
Yeah, I think it sounds like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Where there'll be all righteousness.
Right. Right.
You don't feel like reading, Charlotte?
Reading the notes.
Yeah, just the notes.
Did you want to stop after this? Did you want to just do 4 chapters instead of 6 at a time?
Well, we'll do 5 chapters. How about that? And then we'll stop. We'll do, you read, we already did 4, right?
Yes.
We're on 5. We're,
We're at,
we'll read one more and then we'll stop.
we're at the notes on 4, where it talks about this section. Or did you already read that? This section describes how Enoch became involved. Enoch describes how representatives of the watchers approached him while praying with 12.3. They gave him a message to pass on to the runaways, which I'm assuming those are the Nephilims, aren't they? Or the yes.
Yeah, well, I thought the runaways would be the fallen angels.
Okay, and I thought the watchers were the fallen angels.
Yes, they are.
And they gave him a message to pass on to the.
Okay. We have good angels and bad angels.
The watchers approached him while praying, and they gave him a message to pass on to the runaways.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it might have been the runaway angels.
Yeah.
The message is outlined between 12.4 and 13.2. Enoch describes the terror among the runaways when they discover they have been found. Okay. Enoch explains how the runaways decided to send a letter in 13.4 through 6, begging forgiveness, and Enoch is given the job of writing and delivering the letter. Enoch does not disclose the actual contents of their letter or much about it or how it was delivered. He says he went to the waters of Dan, Lake Van, and read it out. And a reply came to him in a dream, 13:7 through 8. But he also says at 12:1 through 2 that he had disappeared because he was with the watchers.
Yeah. Okay. Or do you want to stop there? You think we should stop there or continue? What do you think, Charlotte?
Well, I'm not too good with the English language as far as pronouncing these names, but I'll give chapter 5
A wheel.
Yes.
I wonder why it. Excuse me. I wonder why it says 5 and then it says 12.1. I wonder what those are about.
I'm sure they're just reference points. Probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Enoch meets the holy watchers. And then Enoch disappeared, and none of the sons of men knew where he was hidden, where he was, or what had happened. And all his doings were with the holy ones and with the watchers in his days. And I, Enoch, was blessing the great Lord and King of eternity, and behold, the watchers called to me, Enoch the scribe, and said to me, Enoch, scribe of righteousness, go and inform the watchers of heaven, who have left the high heaven and the holy eternal place, and have corrupted themselves with women, and have done as the sons of men do, and have taken wives for themselves, and have become completely corrupt on the earth. They will have on earth neither peace nor forgiveness of sin, for they will not rejoice in their sons. The slaughter of their beloved ones they will see, and over the destruction of their sons they will lament and petition forever, but they will have neither mercy nor peace. And Enoch went and said to Azazel or Azazel, you will not have peace. A severe sentence has come out against you, that you should be bound. And you will have neither rest nor mercy, nor the granting of any petitions, because of the wrong which you have taught, and because of all the works of blasphemy and wrong and sin which you have shown to the sons of men. And then I went and spoke to them all together, and they were all afraid. Fear and trembling seized them, and they asked me to write out for them the record of a petition so that they might receive forgiveness, and to take a record of their petition up to the Lord in heaven. For they were not able from then on to speak, and they did not raise their eyes to heaven out of shame for their sins, for which they had been condemned. And then I wrote out the record of their petition and their supplication in regard to their spirits and the deeds of each one of them, and in regard to what they asked, and they should obtain absolution and forbearance. And I went and sat down by the waters of Dan, in Dan, which is southwest of Hermon, and I read out the record of their petition until I fell asleep. And behold, a dream came to me, and visions fell upon me, and I saw a vision of wrath, and I should speak to the sons of heaven and reprove them. I woke up and went to them, and they were all sitting gathered together as they mourned. And oh my, come on, somebody help me here.
Ubalaseil.
Yeah, and him or her, which is between Lebanon and Sinir, and with their faces covered. Yes, and I spoke in front of them all the visions that I had seen in my sleep, and I began to speak these words to reprove the watchers of heaven.
Okay, that was it.
Wow.
Yeah, there's the wow.
I think that's going to be a recurring echo in this series.
So, interesting that they were trying to ask for forgiveness.
I noticed that the first thing he said is what the Lord said, there's not going to be any forgiveness. There's not going to be, any of this. You can't petition. And the first thing they do is write a letter to do it. To write a letter to do it.
Yes. Well, they so purposely did all that anyways. I mean, really, if you think about what those angels brought to mankind.
Yes.
Things that were done in heaven, secrets of heaven, they brought down onto the earth.
Right.
And then with the makeup and writing, did it say writing? Right? Is that what it said?
It says that this is the reply to the runaways' letters. This is the reply to the runaways' letter. The judgment is outlined at 14:4-7. They are to be bound on earth. This could mean endless. Oh, I won't read that.
What? I already turned mine off. Endless what?
In the notes section, he states that this could mean endless reincarnation, presumably that they would know exactly what it meant.
Endless reincarnation is them coming into different forms, right?
I don't know. It says at 14.6, the deaths of their sons is predicted again, and at 14.7, they are further criticized for the form of their petition. The section at 14.8 is interesting. Here, Enoch goes into more detail about how he saw the vision. It sounds to me as though Enoch was taken in a vehicle that could fly. If you see also section 15 at 81.5. Here, 3 of the watchers take Enoch home and drop him off outside his front door. And from 14:9 to 15:1, Enoch describes his journey and the place where he was taken. He was obviously very impressed and rather frightened. The wall of hailstones might be glass, and the tongues of fire could be artificial lighting. At 15.1, the Most High speaks to Enoch, and he mocks the runaways for sending Enoch to carry their petition in 15.2. Then he goes on to explain the reasons for the harshness of the judgment. At 16.3, he criticizes them for leaving before they had completed their education. And he says that what they knew was worthless, and that their lack of wisdom would lead to bad consequences. Amen.
Amen. Interesting.
Wow.
Interesting.
That was a mountain.
Yep. Interesting that mountain means sin also. You know?
What did you say?
So,
interesting about what?
how that mountain, Hebron, meant sin.
Oh.
I mean, curses. I'm sorry. Not sin. Curse. Isn't that what that said? They were on the mountain of curses when they put the, what did it say? They all got together and cursed each other. Is that what it said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yep.
Wow.
So, interesting book.
Yeah.
Interesting book.
It is interesting.
So, hopefully we can continue some of this on Friday, Charlotte. Tomorrow I can't because I got to get ready for the Bible study. But maybe we can continue this on Friday. What do you think?
I think I'm going to have to learn to expect the unexpected with you and be ready at all times to go into the Zoom room. That's what yes. I don't mind at all. I just have to keep my camera off.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know that was Laura speaking, right? I know Stephen Quayle talks a lot about this stuff. There's some books that he's written that I'd probably like to get myself, you know?
Yeah, I wanted to get them too a long time ago. Yeah, he's got a whole series, like 3 of them or something on this whole thing.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, just let me know when.
It's we started here 1 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, and it is 2 o'clock now. So maybe on Friday at 1 o'clock we can continue. Unless you have something else planned.
Well, tentatively speaking, I've got to from, I don't know what day yet, but from 9 in the morning to 1 in the afternoon, I've got to find a teacher for a bunch of children in Africa, school children. So I'm going to be working on that. So, but I'll say,
you know,
speaking, yes.
How many school children are there?
I don't know. I don't know enough about it to be talking about it right now. Especially
somebody.
with this recording, I really don't know enough about it to be talking about it at all, really.
Yeah. Oh, let's stop the recording.
All right.
I forgot.